What I want to tell you this time is not a Gunpla tutorial nor a Gunpla custom. But I want to tell you is that a basic thing in building a Gunpla that is often overlooked or underestimated by most builder, painting skill. I will share a little of my knowledge about painting. There are several stages in painting and each stage has its own function. Let's start with the first thing you should do when painting. Primer. The function of primer is not really important, that's why it's often overlooked by most builders. First, it can make the paint layer above the primer has a stronger bond to the plastic of Gunpla. Second, it can cover the original color of Gunpla easier than ordinary paint color. For example, to cover red with white perfectly, maybe you need 5 layers of white paint or more. But with primer at the beginning, you only need 2 layers of primer and 2 white layers. Additional functions, it can be used as an error check. You can see the flaws in your Gunpla easier after primer. The rough sandpaper marks will be easier to see, so it is very helpful for us to see which part of the Gunpla still need to be fixed before proceeding to the next painting step. If you already know the function of the primer, do you think that the primer is important in painting Gunpla? Then the second stage, the base color. Actually, this base color can be said to be conditional depending on the color of the primer used and what kind of color you want to produce. If you want a brighter tone, you need a base color like white. If you want a slightly darker tone, you need a darker base color like gray or even black. If the primer you use is white, and you want a bright color like yellow, of course you don't need to add a layer of white on top of the white primer. There is also a case in painting for metallic colors. I always use a gloss black as base color for metallic because it will affect the shine of the metallic. Then for candy tone painting, before applying a clear layer, you need a silver or gold as base color. Then, what is the base color for silver? Silver is metallic, so you need a gloss black before silver. That's it. The conclusion is the base color will affect the tone of the final color you want. Next is the third stage, the main color. This is the final color you want on your Gunpla. I don't think I need to be too detailed for my explanation in this section because we have discussed the more important things in the previous stage. The next stage can be said that this stage is optional, adding panel lines and decal. What interesting here is to make it easier for you to do these two things. You need to make the previous color layer gloss. A gloss finish layer make it easier for you to clean the rest of the excess panel line than a doff or semi-gloss layer. A gloss pen also help you in decal installation because the gloss layer will make the possibility of air trap under the decal very small so that your decal will stick more firmly to the Gunpla. Now I want to invite you back to the previous stage, the main color. Most of the main colors have a semi-gloss or even matte finish. So what you need to do if you find this is to make the main color gloss first. How? by adding a clear gloss layer first before giving the panel lines or decals. And for the last stage, the last coat layer. Once you've added color, panel lines, and decals, of course you need a finishing coat for protection. Therefore, you need to add a clear coat as the last protection. For the type of clear coat that is used, it is up to each person's taste, such as gloss, doff, or matte. Another function of clear coat is to make the paint stick to your gunpla more strongly, because the primer and clear coat will form a strong bond, so that your paint will be more difficult to peel off. For the record, based on my own taste, I don't like metallic paint added with a clear coat because it will affect the metallic impression. But back to individual taste, if you like the result, please do as you wish. That's all about the basic painting stage on Gunpla. Maybe you have questions about what paints are good for Gunpla, such as lacquer, acrylic, or enamel. We will discuss later on another video. Salam Alice.